I remember sitting in my first real job, staring at my first real paycheck. I'd done everything right, or so I thought. I got good grades, went to a decent university, and landed a job with a respectable title. I knew algebra, history, and even some basic physics. But as I looked at that number, a wave of panic washed over me. I had absolutely no idea what to do with it. School taught me how to earn money, but it never taught me how to use it. This is the story of how I learned the one money skill they do and teach you in school, and how it completely changed my life. For years, I was stuck in a cycle. Paycheck comes in, bills go out, rent, car payment, student loans, groceries. Whatever was left over, I'd spend. A dinner out with friends, a new gadget I thought I needed, a weekend trip to escape the stress. Before I knew it, I was back to zero, anxiously waiting for the next payday. I was living paycheck to paycheck, feeling like I was running on a treadmill, working so hard but getting nowhere. I felt trapped. I saw people around me buying homes, investing, and traveling without a care in the world, and I just couldn't understand what I was doing wrong. The shame was real. I thought I was the only one. I was too embarrassed to talk about it with my friends or family. Money is such a taboo topic, isn't it? We're taught that it's rude to discuss salaries or debt. So I suffered in silence, thinking I was just bad with money. The stress started affecting my health. I had trouble sleeping, I was constantly anxious, and I started to resent the very job that was supposed to give me freedom. I was making a decent income, but I felt poorer than ever. This wasn't the life I had imagined for myself. The turning point came on a random Tuesday night. I was trying to pay a bill online, and my card was declined. Insufficient funds. I knew I had been paid just a week ago. Where did it all go? That moment of pure embarrassment and frustration was my rock bottom. I realized that my problem wasn't how much I was earning. It was that I had no plan. I was letting my money control me instead of the other way around. That night, I decided things had to change. I wasn't going to be a victim of my finances anymore. I was going to learn to fight back. So I started reading. I read everything I could find about personal finance. Books, blogs, forums. I consumed it all. And a single powerful idea kept showing up everywhere. It wasn't about complex stock market theories or risky investment schemes. It was something so simple, so fundamental, that I couldn't believe I had overlooked it my whole life. The skill? Budgeting. Now I know what you're thinking. Budgeting? That's it? That sounds boring and restrictive. I thought the same thing. I pictured spreadsheets with a million rows and giving up everything I enjoyed. But I was desperate, so I gave it a try. And I discovered that I was completely wrong. True budgeting isn't about restriction. It's about intention. It's not about telling yourself no to everything. It's about telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. It's about creating a plan for your money that aligns with your goals and your values. It's about giving every single dollar a job to do. So here's the realistic plan I used to get started, the one that actually works. First, I had to face the truth. For 1 month, I tracked every single penny I spent. Every coffee, every subscription, every impulse buy. I used a simple notes app on my phone. It was painful. It was shocking to see how much I was spending on things that didn't really matter to me. That morning latte habit? It was costing me over $100 a month. The multiple streaming services I barely used? Another 50. Seeing it all laid out in black and white was the wake-up call I needed. This step isn't about judgment. It's about awareness. You can't fix a leak if you don't know where it is. The next step was to create my first intentional budget. I didn't use a complicated app. I just took a piece of paper and wrote down my monthly income at the top. Then I listed my non-negotiable expenses: rent, utilities, loan payments, and basic groceries. These are the must-pays. After that, I created categories for the rest of my spending, like eating out, shopping, and entertainment. This is where the magic happened. Instead of just spending randomly, I gave myself a specific amount for each category. I decided I could spend, say, $200 on restaurants for the month. This didn't mean I couldn't go out. It meant I had to be intentional about it. Maybe I'd choose one nice dinner instead of 5 cheap lunches. It forced me to prioritize what truly brought me joy. The most important category I created was for my future self. For the first time ever, I paid myself first. Before I allocated money for shopping or entertainment, I set aside a small amount for savings. It started small, just $50 a paycheck. It felt insignificant at first, but it was a powerful psychological shift. I was finally prioritizing my future. I also created a small category for fun money. A guilt-free fund I could spend on anything I wanted. No questions asked. This was crucial. It kept me from feeling deprived and helped me stick to the budget long term. A budget that has no room for fun is a budget that's destined to fail. The first few months were a challenge. I had to build new habits. I started checking my budget before making a purchase. I learned to say no to things that weren't in the plan. But something amazing started to happen. The anxiety began to fade. For the first time, I wasn't scared to look at my bank account. I knew exactly what was going on. I felt in control. That $50 in savings started to grow. First it was a few hundred, then 1,000. This became my emergency fund, a safety net that gave me a sense of security I had never felt before. Slowly but surely, my life transformed. Having a budget didn't restrict my life, it expanded it. Because I was intentional with my money, I was able to pay down my debt faster than I ever thought possible. I started investing that small amount I was saving each month. I was finally able to save up for a real vacation, one that I paid for in cash, without a single drop of financial guilt. The feeling was incredible. I was no longer a passenger in my own financial life. I was the driver. This skill, this simple act of creating a plan for your money, is the foundation of financial freedom. It's not as flashy as crypto trading or real estate investing, but without it, none of that other stuff matters. A budget is your roadmap. It shows you where you are, where you want to go, and the exact path to get there. It's the most empowering tool you have. If you feel stuck, overwhelmed, or anxious about money, please know you are not alone. And please know that you have the power to change it. You don't need to be a math genius or a finance expert. You just need to be intentional. Start today. Don't wait for a new year or a new job. Just track your spending for 1 week. See where your money is going, then create a simple plan. Give every dollar a job. Pay yourself first, even if it's just a tiny amount, and give yourself permission to have some fun. It won't be perfect overnight, but it's a journey worth starting. This is the skill that allows you to build the life you want, not just the one you can afford. It's the key to turning your income into wealth, your stress into peace, and your dreams into a plan. Thank you so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, consider subscribing for more realistic tips on mastering your money. You've got this.